Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Thank you for joining me today for Technique Tuesday. And so today what we're going to make is a fun fold, and it's called a swing card. And if you've never made a swing card, it's because you probably haven't seen one in years. I would call it a vintage technique. It's something that I made when I was a new demonstrator, so that would have been back in 2000. And now it's especially easy because we have the scoring board and we have a better paper trimmer than we had back then. So I'm going to try to make this and hope you can follow along. Today I'm excited because we're going to be using a new stamp set that's in the catalog, and it's called What's Cookin'. This is a darling stamp set. It has 13 stamps. This is a cling red rubber set. And you can see all the cute stamps. We're going to use a lot of these today, and also the matching, the coordinating dies. There are 10 dies in the Cookin dies. And I don't know if I like the set better or the dies. They're both darling. And so we're going to use some of these today also to make our card. We're also going to use some designer series paper that's featured in the back of the catalog as a Hostess 12 by 12 pack. And it's called Pattern Party. A lot of people miss it because it's kind of hidden back there in the back, but it's amazing paper. And so I'm going to use 2 pieces of that today. I'm going to use the stripe and I'm going to use the hearts. And this paper is black and white on the back, which is super cool, right? Because you can use your blending brushes or sponge and just make it any color you want. But today I'm excited because I think I can just use it as is, just like that. So the pieces that you'll need today, I'm using a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock as my cardstock base. And it's 6.5 by 5.5. So I know it's an unusual size, but it's 6.5 by 5.5. So you need to cut that. And then your little pieces that you'll need, this piece is actually 3 3/4 by 2 7/8. Okay, and then the smaller piece is 2 7/8 by 2.5. Okay, so that's all that you'll be needing today other than your embellishments and your stamp set. So let's get started. I'm going to use the scoring board because that makes it super easy to make the score lines. You're going to need 4 score lines and 6 cuts. I'm going to use my paper trimmer for the cutting. So I am going to get started today. If you have a scoring board, get it out and start using it. If you don't have one, just use your paper trimmer. That works fine. Or you can use a ruler with your bone folder. There's lots of ways you can score other than this way. So let's get started. Okay, our scoring board is a very cool tool because it's nice and big. You can use it for scrapbooking, card making, whatever. And it comes with these little markers. Okay, so, and it also comes with your stylus. The stylus scores here at the bottom. It has the wide tip. It's good for designer series paper because it doesn't tear the paper. And then you have your fine tip, which is good for cardstock. Okay, the markers actually store here in the bottom, but I just leave mine intact on my board. And I have mine marked already for where I'm going to score. And then I have some extras down here that I'm saving for later. Okay, so let's get started today. You're going to put your cardstock in, and you're going to put the 6.5 at the top. Okay, and then you're going to take your stylus, or if you don't have a stylus, just use your bone folder. Okay, and we're going to score down at, let's make sure I get these measurements right. You're going to score over, and this is at 2 5/8, and you're going to score down just 1 1/4 inches. So 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and then this one is at 3 7/8, and you're going to score that down 1 1/4 inches. And you're going to take your cardstock and you're going to reverse it, and you're going to do the exact same thing at the other side. So at 2 5/8, you're going to go down to 1 1/4 inches, and at 3 7/8, you're going to go down 1 1/4 inches. Okay, now those are their 4 score lines, and you're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to get rid of our scoring board, and we're going to get out our paper trimmer. Okay, now the paper trimmer has the scoring blade, so you could be using that, but we're done with that. So now we have the cutting blade. That's the black blade. So now what we want to do is we want to put our cardstock in, again, the long way at the top, and you're going to put it in at 1 1/4. But don't release it down. You don't want to cut right up here at the top. You're going to cut in the center. So you're going to put this down at 1 1/4. So when you see that on your trimmer, 1 1/4, you're going to go down to 4 1/4. Okay, so you're going to cut it 1 1/4 to 4 1/4. Okay, so you have that one cut. 5 more cuts. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. So place it in at 1 1/4. Close your trimmer and cut from 1 1/4 to 4 1/4. Okay, so now you have these 2 cuts. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put your paper back in with the short side at the top, the 5 1/2 at the top, and you're going to put it in at 1 1/4 again. And now this time you're going to start at 1 1/4, and you're going to go all the way. Make sure I do this right. To the score line. Don't go all the way, just go to the score line. Okay. Flip your paper over, put it in at 1 1/4, start at 1 1/4, and go to the score line. Don't go all the way, just go to the score line. Okay. Now you're going to flip your paper over, and you're going to do the exact same thing. 1 1/4, cut it 1 1/4 to the score line. Stop at the score line. Okay. And then turn it this way, 5 1/2 at the top, 1 1/4. Start cutting at 1 1/4 all the way to your score line. You are finished. That is all the cutting that is needed. Okay. Now you're going to make sure that those corners are free. Looks good. Now you're going to bend on the score lines. So you're going to take this side, bend it in, and bend this one back. Just like that. Okay? So you've got that. That's where why the scoring is important and the cutting is important. You don't want to cut through there. Okay? Now let's do a little stamping on this, because I'm just going to do tone on tone. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo ink. And I'm going to use the little stamp, the little chef hats. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp these on here. And it's okay if you go on here. That's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to decorate this cardstock tone on tone. And you can go upside down if you want. I'm not, but you could. You do you, whatever makes you happy. Okay, looks pretty good. I think I'm one more here, and I'm done. Okay. Close that pad, and now I have Misty Moonlight. So again, what I like about our cardstock is it tells us all the colors that's in here, and it says Misty Moonlight, Flirty Flamingo. It tells us all these colors. So I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink, and I want to stamp a couple of sayings. I'm going to stamp for you, and then I'm going to stamp sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love. I think that's such a cute little stamp. So I'm going to look for you for my little block. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp this on white cardstock. Find my piece of white cardstock. Where are you, cards? Oh, here you are. Okay. You ever tucked your cardstock? It's crazy, isn't it? I'm going to stamp for you. And then I'm going to punch this out with my double oval punch. I just want this one. So I'm just going to put this in like that. So I have that one. And then on a little piece of white cardstock, I'm going to stamp the other saying. And again, I'm going to go ahead and use my Misty Moonlight. And I think this is 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 2 piece. I'm going to make sure this is straight. Pretty good. I like to check it first to make sure. Looking pretty good. Great. Okay. Close my pad. I'm done stamping. And I'm going to go ahead and mount this on a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. Just this is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so I have that ready. Okay, so now it's time to decorate my card. I'm going to go ahead and use my designer series paper. I'm going to put that on the inside. Should fit perfectly, and it does. Okay, and then the other side, I'm going to put the stripe. I don't need as big a piece on this side because you can't see this end. So I don't really need to put designer series paper down there. You just need this piece. Okay. And then I'm going to put For You on the front. I'm going to put it right in the center. And then on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and put my other saying. And I think I'm going to put it up here a little bit so I have room to decorate a little more. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and decorate. I'm going to use those dies that I talked about, and I have a rolling pin. I have 2 spoons, wooden spoons, which are appropriate, right, because of the saying. I have a whisk. I cut that out of foil. I have a spatula cut out of Misty Moonlight cardstock, and I have salt and pepper shakers that I stamped and cut out of Misty Moonlight. Okay, so all I need to do now is decorate. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the spatula, because I love this little spatula. I'll put that on the front. So stinking cute. Even has texture. It's just darling. Okay, and then I'm going to put the whisk on the front also. Okay, and then I think I want to put my salt and pepper shakers right down here in the corner. So I've got these on dimensionals. So I'm going to put those right there. Get the backs off of them. Yes. Okay, so I'll put those right there. And then on the inside, I'm going to put my spoons, because it talks about the spoons, right? So I'm going to put the spoons. And then I think I'm going to put my rolling pin, just because it's so cute. I just cut this out of In Good Taste paper, and I'm going to put that right there. Because when I close it, that's not going to show. All right, so I think it needs a little Wink of Stella. I'm going to go ahead and put a little Wink of Stella. So you want to shake your Wink of Stella because it's got glitter in there, right? And then give it a little squeeze, tiny squeeze. And then just put a little of that on your, to make those salt and pepper shakers shiny, sparkly. Okay. And then I'm going to use my favorite sequins, right? Artistry Blooms sequins. So I'm going to go ahead and add some sequins. Do I think it needs it on the front? Yes, I do. I think that needs it on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 up here. And 1 down here. Okay, I think I'm finished. So there is your swing card. So when you open it it actually swings open. I mean, this is a great little design, fun fold for anybody who wants to make a different kind of a fold. And you could make Christmas cards, you could make birthday cards, just adorable. So hope you enjoyed this today, and may you be blessed and be a blessing to someone today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later on Friday. Bye.